Hey beautiful people, this video answers the question, I hope it answers the question, how to develop an innovation mindset. This is a great topic for me because I actually wrote a book on it, the innovation mindset. Hope you enjoy it, hope it's valuable for you. So here's a disturbing truth. The way your company measures productivity might actually be destroying innovation. Those KPIs, they come right from 1930 factory floor thinking. My research shows that this outdated system is why many mid-career professionals hit a wall when it comes to innovation. But there's hope. The practice impact model reveals how innovators bypass bureaucratic traps. I'll show you how to spot whether the workplace has operational capacity, good, or generative capacity, game-changing. Let's talk about the factory model that's killing people's creativity and innovation capacity. That quarterly performance review where you're measured on tasks completed and deadlines met, it's using the same assembly mindset and design and thinking that Henry Ford used in his factories in the 1900s. My research shows that the IPO model, the input process output model, the factory production model, the assembly model, still controls workplaces today. Factories in those days needed workers to handle materials predictably, but today's knowledge environment, and particularly with the advance of AI, needs something very different. The problem comes when evaluations focus on output quantity. A Yale study found employees in rigid systems are 37% less likely to come up with innovative solutions. Why? Because counting widgets ignores the thinking behind them, ignores the context. You could spend weeks redefining a process, but you're not going to get credit for it unless the change fits some predefined metrics that are handed down through the OKRs and the KPIs. In some software development organizations, we're measuring lines of code, not problems solved or products generated. Let's look at some of the modern KPIs. A social media team who are judged on post quantity just keep recycling the same material. A sales team hitting call quotas are going to miss deep client insights. Ford's factory workers cared how many Model Ts rolled off the assembly line, not whether workers suggested improvements. Many office functions now are actually measured in the same way, prioritizing and valuing volume over value. The input process output model severs the feedback loop between action and adaptation. Workers see fewer reasons to experiment when they're only being measured on outputs. Think about factory floors that actually prohibited people from speaking to each other. That's happening digitally today when collaboration tools track productivity by message volume rather than idea quality. But here's what changes if managers begin to measure differently. At a logistics company I did some work for, workers proposed routing improvements and got promotions faster than those who are just simply moving packages. Creative problem solving creates visibility. A packaging designer who managed to reduce plastic inserts in a particular product actually saved more money than meeting all the quarterly targets combined. The trap comes when companies reward two types of work equally, both the operational capacity, doing assigned tasks well, and the generative capacity, reinventing how things get done. Over time, this trains people to avoid innovation. One finance professional spent weekends automating reports, but hid the work because they said, my boss only grades speed on manual versions. You can spot the outdated system and its language. Efficiency talks dominate innovation conversations. When someone says that's not how things are done here, they're often defending a process designed for physical labor, not for knowledge work. But what if you could hack this? The solution is not a rebellion. It's redesigning how you frame contributions. An engineer in an auto plant started tagging time spent troubleshooting as process refinement rather than downtime, and within months her ideas got incorporated into new training manuals. This outdated approach stalls careers because promotions increasingly go to problem finders and not the people who are innovating to solve problems. The marketing associate who identifies a new customer segment often advances faster than one producing ads on schedule. Let's examine the mindset shift that changes everything I've talked about. Human innovation. It's a career game changer. Forget the myth of the lone genius. Peter Denning's research has shown that 90% of successful innovation is getting communities to adopt it. That's why self-made inventor stories are misleading. The real breakthroughs happen through co-invention, through working and designing together. Operational capacity means doing your job well, and that's important. But generative capacity means changing how the job gets done. This starts with individual actions. I have an example of one engineer who started sketching process improvements during lunch breaks. When colleagues joined in, they formed an unofficial process improvement group. 8 months later, their redesigned workflows saved 300 engineering hours monthly. Unlike operational work that disappears at the day's end, generative work compounds. A Deloitte study found that employees who improve systems receive 43% more leadership opportunities. Teams using human innovation principles position themselves differently. At a healthcare startup, nurses started documenting time wasters in patient care. The group presented solutions directly to the executives and bypassing 3 approval layers. Their ideas got implemented because they were framed as we, not I. My research shows that group innovations get adopted 7 times faster than solo efforts. Human innovation changes how you're perceived. The IT specialist who fixes tickets become part of the operational infrastructure and they become invisible. But someone who teaches colleagues troubleshooting, shows people how to practice distinctions, gets promoted 40 times faster. Not from working more, but from working smarter. The 3 engines of innovation capacity that I introduce in the book show how this begins to scale. First, leaders model the practice for themselves, a practice that you can begin modeling for yourself. One engineering VP I worked with held weekly problem reframing sessions where teams rewrote bug reports as opportunities. The second thing is they help teams observe patterns. And the third is they amplify success and they reframe success in terms of innovation. Teams adopting the ability to be able to observe patterns and design offers and make innovative offers see changes happen very quickly. A logistics group can start tracking solution velocity, how quickly fixes can spread across through other warehouses, and soon locations using shared fixes outperformed others by 22%. The thing to pay attention to here is that your innovation capacity isn't broken, it's simply focused on the wrong framework. If you're focusing on a framework of productivity and performance, the chances are that your innovation capacity is really going to struggle to be able to deliver the sort of leapfrog performance improvements or innovation opportunities that you're actually looking for. Once you start shifting people out of the input process output mode and you start shifting them into what I refer to as the offer model, what you're doing is you're actually capturing their ability to be able to see things that you cannot see as a leader. If you want to build your innovation capacity and you want to create an innovation mindset for yourself and within your company, start shifting away from the command and control, the input process output, the highly metrics bound systems. I'm not saying you shouldn't pay attention to metrics, you absolutely should, but move to a different set of metrics that look at value that's being added rather than widgets that are being produced. As you start doing that, what you'll find is you are actually encouraging people to make offers. You are helping them build an innovation mindset that will allow them to see opportunities and possibilities. You are engaging them in a thought process that has to do with creating and making offers and engaging with customers and designing and negotiating and co-inventing, which is very, very different from the delegation, from the assignment of tasks, from the delivery of tasks, and from the measurement of widgets output. Particularly if you're working in a software environment where lines of code mean absolutely nothing if the solution doesn't work as effectively as you would like it to. Today, companies are very stuck in what I refer to as the factory floor model, and they keep losing talent because they're not embracing generative work. The key to embracing generative work is the ability to be able to engage people in the design process, engage people in the offer process, engage people in the co-invention process. Once you start start doing that, you start shifting away from the command and control mindset to an innovation mindset that allows for generative thinking and generative capacity building within your organization. As you do this and you look to build an innovation mindset, I invite you to do my innovation readiness assessment. There's a link in the comments below. It's www.innovationreadinessassessment.com. Let me know how it works for you, and I wish you the very best on your innovation journey.